the most overrated tourist attractions in the world, and what you should do instead. Have you ever spent months planning a dream vacation, stood in line for 2 hours to see a famous attraction, and then thought, wait, that's it? Because today we're talking about the most overrated tourist attractions in the world. Now, before anyone sends me any angry emails, because I'm sure that's coming, I'm not saying these places are bad. I'm just saying that sometimes the Instagram version and the reality version are two very different things. And the best part, for almost every overrated attraction, there's a better experience nearby that most travelers completely miss. So today we're talking tourist traps, hidden gems, and how to spend your vacation time and money more wisely. Welcome back to Talk Travel with Samantha. I am your host, Samantha. This is powered by Fabulous Adventures Travel. So the biggest mistakes that travelers make, of course, is assuming that famous automatically means amazing. We've been conditioned to think most photographed equals best, most visited equals must see, long lines equals worth it. But that's not always true. Sometimes the best travel experiences happen when you skip the thing everyone else is doing. Sometimes the memories you treasure most is the little cafe you stumbled into, the local beach you found by accident, or the neighborhood nobody put on TikTok yet. So let's talk about some attractions that, in my opinion, get more hyped than they deserve. So, all right, don't shoot me for this one. Don't throw tomatoes at me, but the Eiffel Tower. I got to be honest, listen, you got to go see it. So, of course, you got to see it, right? Because you just got to see it. It's like the most iconic, most pictured, I'm probably exaggerating, I don't really know, random piece of scrap metal there ever was. And I'm totally kidding. It's really, really pretty. And it's cool. It's literally in the middle of this gorgeous city, right? So it's like the coolest thing. I've actually visited it a couple times, so I totally understand, the need to do it. But it's funny, this last trip to Paris that I was on a couple months ago, my friends that I was with, they had not been up to the Eiffel Tower, and I've actually been up a couple times. And my daughter, who I was with, has actually been up the tower. So we were in the middle of doing some fabulous shopping at the Champs-Élysées, and it came time that we were supposed to go to our, tickets, because of course we had tickets to skip the line to go up there, because Lord knows I'm not waiting in line to go up the Eiffel Tower. So it came time to skip the line, and go on those tickets. And I was like, I just don't feel like going. And my friend was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm kind of really enjoying this other experience that I'm having because I've already been up the tower. Now, I get it. You're probably saying, well, you're telling us not to go to it and you've already been to it. But I'm not saying not to go to it. I'm saying just don't miss the other things. So here's the thing. The Eiffel Tower, of course, it's not super overrated. There's so many great things behind it, around it, next to it. The experience around it is just amazing. I cannot tell you the little streets, the restaurants on the streets, on the sides of it. Oh, some of them are so good. I had some of the best Italian food. Yes, I had Italian in Paris, but I was with kids, remember that. And so many great places around there. But people spend hours standing in line. So the one thing I will say to you, make sure you buy the skip the line passes. You don't stand in line. You actually, honestly, should buy them online. There's a couple of tour companies that will escort you up there, and you can skip a bunch of lines and go up, which is really, really nice. But make sure that you do that in order to, if you are going to visit it. But if just staring at the Eiffel Tower is exactly what you need, then I would say do that and make sure that you instead go to the Montparnasse Tower, where you'll get incredible views, smaller crowds, and you can actually see the Eiffel Tower from that viewpoint. It's actually really cool to see the Eiffel Tower from other points. I think that part's fun. Like, you're like, ooh, I'm over at Disneyland Paris and I can still see the Eiffel Tower. I think that part's actually fun. So it's funny, here's a little pro tip for you. If Disneyland Paris is your jam, or if you want to go there, there's only one spot in Disneyland Paris that you can see the Eiffel Tower, and it is from the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. So make sure that you go there and see that little spot, because it's the only one. That's your little pro tip for the day. So the other things that you can do, obviously, in Paris, where you're just enjoying the Eiffel Tower, is take a sunset river cruise. That's super popular on the river. Now you're seeing Paris, from the water. The Eiffel Tower sparkles at night. It sparkles every hour on the hour. starting, I think, is at 7 or probably dusk. So it probably just depends. I was there in winterish time, so it got dark earlier, obviously. So it does sparkle and it turns off at a certain time. I want to say it's midnight-ish. It stops doing the sparkling, and the sparkling only lasts for like 5 minutes. So know that. So when you walk up and you're like, why is it not sparkling? Well, it doesn't sparkle all the time. It only sparkles for a certain amount of time and every hour on the hour. So the other most overrated tourist attraction is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But like, again, here I say all these things, but you got to see it, right? But just I want to keep pointing out, don't miss what's around it. So let's be honest. Most people spend 30 minutes getting there, 20 minutes taking the fake pushing the photo picture, coming up with a new way to get 1 million views on Instagram, and 10 minutes looking at it. Knowing me, I'd probably stand there and analyze the whole thing and try and figure out why it's leaning, and can we just push it over a little bit or add a stick and just, hold it up. That's probably what I would do. And I'm totally kidding. I know you can't do that. But do this instead. Explore the region of Tuscany, right? So visit wine villages, family-run vineyards. I cannot tell you the amount of amazing wine, if wine is your jam. I cannot tell you the amount of amazing wine that I have had from random family homes that I visited. And they're like, here, try this wine. I'm like, where'd you get this, from your backyard? Yeah, I did, actually. I'm like, wait, what? They actually made it in their house. Like, that is insane to me. So when you go to visit these family-run vineyards, the wine is so good. It's so, so good. And I don't even like wine. So let's start there. So if I actually like it, then it's good, because then it's good, because I don't like wine. I'm more of a hard alcohol kind of gal. You want to also visit the hilltop towns, right? Places like, oh gosh, I'm going to butcher this, Gimignano. Feel like stepping into a movie, right? So I totally butcher those names. I'm so sorry. You remember that long after you've forgotten the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's those moments that I try to say to you guys that you really, really should try and look out for, is to not just hit all the little, or all, not the little, they're not little, all the big iconic views and such. You definitely want to try some of the other, the off the beaten path. So another one, this one's kind of funny. I thought this was funny. The Hollywood Walk of Fame. So if you've never been to Hollywood and you're like, yeah, let's go to Hollywood, I've got to see the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. This one shocks people, because I've actually brought many people to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I warned them ahead of time. I'm like, listen, let me tell you something. First of all, it's dirty. It's not what you think it is. There are no celebrities standing around staring at their star on the ground. They're not waiting there for your picture. It's the city. So just remember that it's the city. So there are city folk, and it is quite interesting around that area. So when you get there, you discover basically it's a sidewalk. However, it's a very famous sidewalk, but it's still a sidewalk. And it's a long sidewalk at that, right? So you can't have all the stars under the Chinese theater, right? So you've got to walk far to see your favorite stars if you're looking for specific stars. So it's not the most glamorous thing. It's quite funny when I do bring people there. I always say, do you want to get out? And they always literally say to me, nope, I'm good. Keep going. I'm like, awesome. I'm so happy. I don't have to find a parking space for you to step on it. So know that it's not, what it's all that it's cracked up to be. So I would say visit the Griffith Observatory. If you've never done that, it is so much fun up there. It's absolutely beautiful. It's high above Hollywood and LA. You can see the ocean from there, obviously. There's a lot of walking trails that I've done. You can see the Hollywood sign from up there. You can take some really, really, really cool pictures. So don't miss that, because it's really, really great. The sunset over Los Angeles is phenomenal. It's just an actually amazing experience. And I can't tell you the amount of people that are up there like working out and doing this. And I'm like, as I'm sweating, I'm like, you guys do this for a living every day? Well, not for a living, but you do this every day? I'm dying. So I feel like I should move to Los Angeles just to do that so I can get in shape, because the Griffith Observatory is perfection. So I've talked about this before. I'm going to do it again because it deserves another round of don't go there, go here. And I keep talking about it, but Santorini. And the reason why I'm bringing it up, so Santorini is another iconic destination that everyone's like, I gotta go to Santorini. And then they get there and they're like, this is it. Yep, that's it. You made it with all the crowds. So depending on obviously how you visit it, if you go there by cruise ship, you're going to have quite an interesting time. First of all, there's like 7 cruise ships that pull up like the Starship Troopers, you know, when they descend on something. Basically, that's what it feels like, right? There's like 7 cruise ships in the bay right there. You all tender in to this one little cable car that pulls you up the hill, the massive hill. I should call it a mountain, honestly, but it's a massive hill. This one cable car that fits maybe 50 people. And I could be exaggerating because I honestly don't remember being that many people. Pulls you up the cable car or up the hill and down, right? Now, there is a spot and a way to walk up, but it's a switchback and it goes up for, it takes about an hour and you're in the dead sun. There is not a tree on that trail. Okay. So if you think to yourself, let me go up that, I'm fit, I'm good, know that you're going to make it to the top and be sweating and disgusting and just dying of epic proportions. And you're going to be like, why did I do that to myself? So if you pull in by cruise ship, know that those are your 2 options to get up the mountain into this city there, into the little town. So everyone obviously loves Santorini because, you know, let's be honest, the flying dress put it on the map. And I'm kidding when I say that is on the map before that, but everyone wants to do the flying dress. Everyone wants to take pictures of the white houses with the blue roofs and all the pools that are hanging out there. And to be honest, because I have been there, it was just gorgeous. But I can say that I'm good. Like that is a one and done sort of event for me. I don't need to go back. There was a lot of people. It was hot. But I will say I had some amazing moments because I did hire a private driver to take me to off the beaten path. I didn't really even see much of the towns. I went to a winery, which was, the food was absolutely phenomenal. I want to say it was Santos Winery. I'll have to look up the name. So if you want it, definitely shoot me an email if you want the name. The views from that winery and the food from that winery were unreal. Again, remember, I don't drink wine and it was so good. They also, the private driver took us to this spot where it was just unreal. We kind of hiked a little bit and there was this hole in the side of the wall of the mountain and it looked out to the bay so we could see our cruise ship and the other cruise ship that was out there, because there was only 2, I think, when we were in port. Maybe there was 3, but it was so beautiful. And the wind that whipped through that little carved hole into the side of the wall was just amazing. It was one of the coolest things I think I've ever experienced. And we had to hike down there. So it was a little bit of a hike. We were wearing sneakers and whatnot, but the wind was great when it would whip through there. I have some amazing pictures. Well, then he took us just a little bit further down the hill. And built into this hill and into the side of the cliff, basically, of Santorini, because it's very hilly and very mountainous, was this tiny, when I tell you tiny church, the freaking thing maybe fit 15 people in there. And all I could picture was like getting married in this beautiful tiny church with 5 of your favorite people, or 7 of your favorite people, because it was just gorgeous. Nobody knowing about it. It was so cool to go in there and be able to see it. Oh my goodness. And you would never ever know about this. There's no sign to get over to this little church that's hidden in the side of the mountain. The only reason we knew about it was because of our private driver, Mr. Volcano Santorini was his name. Well, that wasn't his name. It's the name of the company. And that was phenomenal. And then he took us to the winery right after that. So after that little tiny hike that I had no idea we were going on, he took us to the winery and oh my gosh, the chocolate cake at that winery and the views and the wind that was like the breeze, I should say breeze, not wind, but it was windy. Oh my goodness, was just phenomenal. So I highly suggest doing that and staying away from, like he took us into Santorini and all of the little towns in there, but we didn't stay very long. We had lunch in one of them, which was, the Greek food over there. I can't even tell you how much the Greek food. I've never eaten so much Greek salad in my entire life because the Greek salad is unreal. It's as if they went into their backyard and pulled out a tomato just for me with a cucumber and some feta cheese they whipped up. Oh my gosh, so good. So anyways, back to Santorini. One of the reasons why I'll never go there again is because first of all, it was packed. It was hot as Hades. And, getting off of that island was like nothing I've ever experienced before. So we go to get in line to get down into, back to the cruise ship because, well, our cruise ship wasn't leaving till later, but we go to get in line to go back down and the line just kept going. I was like, this can't be the line. Where are these people going? Well, the other cruise ship was leaving at that time that we were trying to get on the cable car. And as I mentioned, it only fits a certain amount of people because it's a cable car, of course, and it was very small, the amount of people that it fit, okay? So we're kind of all staring at this line like, are we really going to wait in this line? Are people waiting in this line? But they didn't know what else to do. So we start asking around, where's the walkway down? So now you have two options in Santorini. You can walk or take a donkey. You can take a donkey down or up for like $10. I don't know what it is now, but you have that option. They will lead the donkey down the hill or up the hill for you, and you take this donkey. So I was like, let's take the donkeys. Well, of course, we find the walkway down, the pathway down, and we find the donkeys. And I was like, nope, I'm good. Not taking a donkey. I will do it myself. Well, we aren't the only ones that make this decision because everyone that sees this line is like, this is like a 3-hour line. We're not waiting in this line. So we all start walking down. I thought I was I'm not exaggerating in the slightest, okay? I thought I was going to die. If a man had stood halfway through this thing with a cooler and water, he'd be a millionaire right now because everyone was dying. Once you get halfway through, you're like, that's it. I'm done, right? Nope. You keep looking. You're like, I'm not even halfway. There is not a tree. There is no shade on this. We burnt the whole way down. Thank God I had sneakers on, but it was insane because I just could not believe when we finally got down. I honest to God, I thought I was in the Sahara Desert. I thought that I was never going to make it to the ship. I was like, never again. Not only did it smelled like donkey poo, just so you know, and donkey pee all over the place. And you're in the steps that you're going down, because they are like these long steps, they're slippery because they're cobblestone. So I was like, that's it. I'm landing in donkey poo and I'm going to have to walk down smelling like donkey poo and I'm sweating. There's no water. I'm parched. So just know it was an event and I'm sure I made Santorini out to be terrible. And Greece is now going to call me and tell me, stop telling people not to come to Santorini. But, I've told you guys before, there's many other places. Kefalonia. Oh, go to Kefalonia, go to Corfu. That's a little bit more populated than Kefalonia, but Kefalonia is amazing. Go there. Go to, Piros, all those places. They have amazing beaches, authentic Greek culture, incredible food, fewer crowds, better prices. So I know my Santorini story is long, so I'm going to try and whip through the other ones. So here's another one. Stonehenge. Oh my goodness. If you have never been to Stonehenge, trust me when I tell you this, don't go. I don't know. It's a bunch of rocks. I know. Don't shoot tomatoes at me again. But I drove by it because there's no way I was waiting in the line. The line was massive. It's in between London and Bath, this Stonehenge, right? And there are rocks that are just literally chilling in a formation. Nobody knows how they got there. Somebody does, but we don't. So they're chilling in this formation and there are people just staring at it. You can't get super close to it. But I will tell you, you can see it from the street while you're in line just trying to pass it because it's the only road that goes past it to Bath. And there probably is another one, but it's the one that Google took me down. But anyways, you have to drive by it anyways on the way to Bath. Just look at it. Look at it from afar and be like, oh, there it is. I saw it in person. Oh, good. Don't get out. Trust me. The line was a mile long just to park to see these racks. I'm telling you right now, not worth it. The other one we've talked about, I'm in love with Venice, so I don't necessarily and completely agree with this, but I agree with this point of it. Venice midday. Venice midday is a nightmare. Everyone is trying to get on a gondola. The gondolas are running into the sides of the houses. They're running into each other. They can barely get through. Go and stay overnight. Don't do it as a day trip. I stayed there for 2 nights and I can't tell you, I would do it again for 2 nights. I don't think I'd stay longer, but I had the best time. We actually left the island of Venice, took a taxi over to a glass blowing company. I guess I probably should find the name of that. We took a taxi over there and had the best time. I actually blew glass, which I never thought in a million years that I would. Watched the professional create I think it was a horse very quickly. He created a horse with glass, like almost instantly. And it was one of the coolest moments to go and see that, and then go up and see all of the artists' glass blowing that's up there. Like they have a whole like museum and stuff. That was so neat. But I got off of the island midday. Then they took us to another island where I watched these little nonas like knit basically. And they were creating all of these little placemats and covers and in chair covers and unreal. It was just the coolest thing. We also ate lunch over there. Get off the island. Get off of Venice during the day. We came back at night, had the best time. And not once, by the way, did I go on a gondola. And I'm really okay with that. I don't have any, I'm not upset about that. So don't come at me for those last two things. The very last one, super, super popular, Times Square. Y'all, Times Square, go there once, but get out of there. Don't stay there. Don't stay in Times Square. It's, you go once, you walk through it, you look around, you take a picture, you might do a little dance right through there. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. And then that's it. Explore Greenwich Village or the High Line or Brooklyn. Go over to Brooklyn because Brooklyn is where the Italian food's at, the good stuff. But yeah, get out of that area. So I can't tell you, I always do a food tour when I go to New York City, and I walk literally from Times Square all the way down to Chinatown. It's pretty far. And I stop along the way and keep eating to all the different things. And if you do something like that, of course you can keep eating because you have worked off everything that you ate all the way down. But so much fun. Go down and do that kind of stuff because Times Square is, as you know, extremely overrated because it's so busy. But of course, it's the hub of everything in New York. So of course I get it. So with that being said, don't throw tomatoes at me. You can write me emails and tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, just write me an email. But where do you write me an email? You write it to Samantha at talktravelwithsamantha.com. So that is it for our most overrated attractions. I'm going to keep going with this kind of thing, basically telling you where not to go. But if you do go to those, where to go instead while you're there to make sure that you're still getting the culture, you're having the experiences, because that's what it's all about. You want to have the unexpected discoveries. You want to meet people. You want to experience the culture. All of that stuff is what you want to experience, and not the overrated, I took this picture and look at me. Look at me. So here's your challenge. The next time you're planning a trip, don't just ask, what are the top 10 things to see? Ask, what do the locals do? That's exactly how I do it. So that's usually where the magic happens, right? I'm Samantha, and this has been Talk Travel with Samantha, powered by Fabulous Adventures Travel. Contact me at talktravelwithsamantha.com and on Facebook at Samantha-Fabulous Adventures Travel. Up next, we're talking about celestial cruises, the best kept secret in the Med. Until then, keep your passport ready, your vacation expectations just a little lower than the Instagram photos, and as always, travel smarter, vacation harder.